Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today we are talking about the after movie. So, the after movie is way simpler than the opening ceremony video. It's easier to edit, it's easier to prepare, it's easier in every aspect. So I guess you will like this one more. So how did I do this video? Well, at first I wanted to do something different than what was done in the previous year. I wanted the video to convey a certain message. Not a certain message. I wanted to convey a message. And this message will be the message of the event. I didn't want an after movie to be just a summary of what happened because people were already there. People saw what happened. People remember what happened. So I don't think I need to remind them again of what happened. I wanted to remind them about why they went there, why they are part of the network, and why they participated in the event and why the event happened. But I don't want only that, I want a mix of both things. I want a harmony between the why, this message, and the summary of what happened so that it can also attract people to future editions. So how do I find, where do I find both of these things together? In speeches. So the video has a very simple structure. It has the audio comes mainly from the speeches, and then it has BRoll, which was recorded during the sub-events of the event, like workshops and ceremonies and blah, blah, blah. And this allows me to bring something new to the people, to the participants. This allows me to create a new relationship between the different speeches that happened during the event and between the speeches and the things that actually happened. For example, when Elizabeth says that we are listening to older generations' advice, in the video you hear that while you are seeing people in workshops listening to the workshop holder, which is from another generation. So yeah, you can make these bridges between what is being said during those speeches and with what actually happened. To record the speeches, you need an external microphone. The place itself also helps because, for example, in this video, when I recorded in BRoll Brussels, the acoustic of that place wasn't very good, so the audio is very bad. But in B44 it was much better. And there is actually something else you can do, which I didn't do because due to the circumstances that we had, it wasn't possible, which is have a lav mic for the speaker that you have in your event. You can have a lav mic, you can record it to a smartphone, and then in post-production you just mix together the audio and the recording of the video that you're making of that person talking. Why did this work in the Winter Conference? First, we didn't have the lav mics, and even if we had, it wouldn't be possible because we had a lot of speakers one next to the other, and we didn't want, we either needed to have a lot of lav mics or we needed to be changing lav mics from one person to another constantly, and it wasn't feasible. To make the footage, I didn't need a tripod or a gimbal or anything like that for two reasons. I think that the handheld shake is actually nice. It actually looks good because it gives more the idea of action and dynamism in the scene. And I wanted to keep a low profile while I was filming because some people are not very comfortable when others are filming them. Although sometimes they look very good because they're laughing, they're having a good time, it looks good on video, but some people just don't like to be filmed. But yeah, so it's important to keep a low profile to be able to make the videos that you want without being very noticed. And if you're carrying a huge gimbal throughout the room, you will be noticed for sure. That is also why I invested in a new mirrorless camera, smaller camera, because it helps me. First, it is silent. The one that I had before, it had the mechanic shutter, so you always hear that when you're taking pictures. And when taking pictures in events like these, you don't want that sound. And because this camera is smaller, so it helps me to be more discreet in these situations. So how do I film the B-roll? I'm mainly looking for two emotions. One is people laughing, people like, oh my god, I can't stop laughing, I'm having the time of my life, this is amazing. And the other one is when people are in things like workshops. Well, this is so interesting, this is very thoughtful, I'm going to be a better professional after this workshop. I try to capture people in these two emotions and then I just mix them together. It's very easy. Then there are certain nuances that only come with practice. Like how do you behave when you enter a room full of people to film them? I don't study, like I don't know this, but I believe that there is something about body language that helps you to do a better job as a filmmaker. So how do I edit? Very simple as well. I first, if you saw the last video, you know what I found first. I found the music for the whole video. I went to Artlist. I choose the mood that I want to convey. I imagine the mood that will be present in like this environment that will be like in the environment of the video. I found a song, I found the music that I wanted to be throughout the video. Okay, perfect. Now I have like a duration to work on. Then I edit the speeches. So I throw the speeches in the composition, I listen to them all, and then I start cutting the most interesting and the most captivating parts. And then I arrange them throughout the song like it was a rap song. Sometimes there are certain moments of the song that they suggest that like a verse would start there. If it was a rap song, the verse would start there, like a section of the song would start there. So I rearrange, like this is not like scientific. I don't look for it where it should be, like it's how I feel. When I feel that something would start there in that song, I make a speech start there. And then usually also I put one of the most impactful parts of a speech in the end to make like a very interesting end. That's how I rearranged, that's how I arranged the speeches throughout the duration that now I have defined by the song. Then I throw the B-roll into the composition and I start selecting the most captivating parts where I find those emotions that I mentioned before. And I start cutting until I have the best clips fitting in that duration that I have. Then I just color grade and I add the captions. It is important to have the captions because sometimes the audio is not very good, so the captions help the viewer to actually understand what is being said and to reinforce the message that is being transmitted. So that people know, okay, maybe what I'm listening to is actually worth paying attention to. So you can see here, this is my timeline. This is simple, so you can see like on this layer I have the speeches. Let's turn everything off here. On this layer I have like the speeches of people talking during the event, like in the ceremonies. Then I just add, on the next layer I have the B-roll of people in the workshops, people in other parts of the event. Then this is color grading, just changing and adjusting the colors of the video, and then just the captions. So, and here on this side, this is the audio of the speeches, the audio of the B-roll, which is muted, and then the song. Okay, and now I'm going to tell you how you can edit very fast in Premiere. And this way of editing very fast is with keyboard shortcuts. I'm going to explain you what keyboard shortcuts I use and how you can use them to edit very fast. This is how I do it. Maybe some other people have a faster way, but for me, this is what I know and this is what works for me. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Especially if you're new to Premiere, this is very good. If you already know how to use Premiere and you already have your own keyboard shortcuts, you can see this as a suggestion to adapt your own keyboard shortcuts. Good. First, I'm going to show you how to define these shortcuts and then I'm going to explain how to use them. So, how do you define them? Go to your menu and click keyboard shortcuts. If you are using a Windows, it should be under the edit menu, should be down here, I guess. The first one that you're going to define is the ripple trim previous edit to playhead. So, you search here on this search bar, ripple trim. Okay, here you're going to see previous edit to playhead and next edit to playhead. So you define the key F to the previous edit and the G to the next edit. How do you define that? You can just drag the key to the shortcut. The next one is add edit. So you search for add edit and you define it to the key C. Then you're going to search for step back one frame, okay, and you define it to Q, and then step forward one frame and you define it to W. Alright, so once you have this defined, I will show you how you can edit very fast with this. So I'm going to, as an example, I'm going to open all the footage that I have of the opening ceremony. I'm going to create a new sequence on that. New sequence for clip. Good. So now I have here a timeline with everything that happened in the opening ceremony, all my original videos. So let's imagine that, okay, you are watching the first video and you want to start this clip here. You can click F and it will cut everything that is behind your playhead. Okay, and then let's imagine you want this clip from here until here. Let's see, Florence talking, Florence is saying something interesting. You want to finish here, you click C, alright? And then you continue to see what else you want to include in this with this clip. And then you see that it starts saying something else that is very interesting only here. And you want to delete this space that was behind. Okay, you click F again. Okay, and you go with this sequence of clicking F and C and F and C. Alright, you can also use G to delete what is forward after the playhead. So imagine that the person like is saying something very interesting until here, and you know that from here on, like nothing interesting happened, like you put your camera down or a person stopped speaking, so you click G to finish that clip there. So this is the workflow that I use. It's just F, C, and G, F, C, and G all the time. It makes the process very easy. Once you are used to these shortcuts, it allows you to focus on what is actually happening on your video and not on using the tools to edit the video, to cut one side, to cut the other, to make cuts, to edits, blah, blah, blah. So this is it. I hope this was useful. I hope it helps you to create nice videos for your next events. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave a comment on this video or send me a message. Thank you for watching. See you soon.